Hey everyone, today is Thursday, the 7th of March, 2019. This is The Gap, episode 458. I'm Luke Lawrie, Joab Gilroy's here, and this is definitely not take 3. Four?
Three. It's not 3. It's definitely not 3. Yeah. How's it going?
Alright, I feel like this week might be a little bit longer than last week.
Might be.
We got some things to talk about.
It's true.
We got some new games, some old games,
Yeah.
and a bit in between.
That's true.
Some news, a bit more news.
A bit more news and a movie. We saw a movie.
And, did you?
Yeah, I've seen it.
I watched The Rock last night.
The Rock.
Yes.
Yeah, fair enough.
Don't you watch it every night?
Not every night. I alternate between that and Con Air.
Right. Oh, was your...
Because I'm a man of distinction, you know. I've got a little thing called class. No, we watched Captain Marvel. I went on Tuesday. You went last night, right?
Yeah. Went to an advanced screen last night.
What'd you think?
I liked it.
Yeah.
I think it's maybe somewhere in the middle in terms of a good Marvel film.
Yep.
I think it plays it pretty safe. I don't think the action's very good. Her character is, you don't really get to know much about her. It's kind of mysterious and
I think you get quite a bit of info about her. It just doesn't come for a while, you know.
Yeah, but no, I feel like her character is very one-note-ish.
Right.
Like very plain. I don't know.
I mean,
oh, that's the right word.
She's sort of the Superman.
Yeah, well, yeah, she's the Superman of Marvel, right? Well, she's up there. She's up there with like Hulk and Thor. But you don't get that.
But she's
feeling,
like the closest Superman analog, I think, that they have. And I think it's really hard to give characterization to a Superman style character. I was saying this last night, where ultimately, compared to a lot of superheroes, right, a regular person, like compared to me, right, most superheroes are essentially gods, right? Essentially, right? And I know, they're not. I know they're not, right?
Gambit, but if he can throw cards, he's not a god.
That is true, but he's an X-Man, and
that's different.
Kill all muties. If I were to come face to face with Iron Man, right? I know that inside the suit is Tony Stark, and he is a human, and he is just a person. But if I were to come face to face with Iron Man, the man in the suit, right, he would functionally be a god to me. Like, he would exist on a level that is essentially godlike. I would not question what he was doing because he is so much more powerful than me. He has access to so much more information. All these kinds of things that make him... It's that old... is it Asimov? Or is it Clark? On a high enough level, technology is indistinguishable from magic, right? That sort of thing, right? So that superpowers are indistinguishable from, god powers.
Iron Man's superpower is that he's rich.
Yeah, but he does have this suit that makes him invincible, essentially, effectively invincible. I would never be able to kill him, right? Like, if I did want to kill Iron Man, I'd have to sneak into his house while he was asleep and pop him in the fucking brain, right? That's the only shot I'd have. And there's a really good chance that his nanobots would stop me from being able to do that, right? So what I'm saying is, he is so much more powerful than me that he is essentially a god. Captain Marvel is the same again to every superhero, almost every superhero. And that, I think, it's the same case for Superman, right? Like, I could never kill Batman unless I snuck into his house and popped him in the brain, and I'd have to somehow work out who his secret identity was, which is never going to happen. So, it's not like he's out there saying that he is, I don't know, some sort of billionaire industrialist like Tony Stark is. I'd still have to get to the bottom of who the fuck the man behind the mask is with Batman, right? But Batman trying to kill Superman would be like a regular person trying to kill God, and me trying to or would be like a regular person trying to kill Batman. That's what I'm saying, right? And that's what Captain Marvel represents in the Marvel universe. This ultimate being of of sorts that is essentially impossible to kill, and I think it's really difficult to give characterization to a character to someone like that, because their motivations would be utterly alien to us, and alien in a way that is not very difficult to humanize. And so the only way that they can humanize her is by contrasting her with other people. And that's why you didn't really get that until late in the movie when,
like halfway through.
Yeah. Like, I think that's like, it's super tricky for them. I totally, I didn't like the first half of that movie. I thought it was like just lent really heavy on the 90s references. I don't like reference humor. I honestly don't like reference humor in general. I lean on it pretty heavily, but I don't like it. And yeah, it felt like they were doing the same thing. But after that first half, I think it really comes into its own movie, and it's got like its own sense of humor. It's got like interesting a couple of like interesting messages as well, like interesting points of view and shit. And like, yeah, it goes a interesting way with it. But like, I can't ignore that I didn't like half the fucking movie. So I was thinking about it in terms of like Thor Ragnarok, right? Because I didn't like about a third of that movie, and the third of that movie that I didn't like was all the fucking Marvel formula shit that they squeezed on them. Like, I didn't like basically anything to do with Hela.
Yeah,
I liked her I thought she was an awesome big bad. But
she's not in it. She's in it like the last end of the movie, like the beginning and the end.
But yeah, and every time they go back to her, right, it's like, oh right, it's a Marvel movie. Oh right, yeah, whatever. It's like that is like typical Marvel shit that I don't find like terribly interesting anymore. And then the rest of Thor Ragnarok is fucking bananas shit that I love to death. Right, it's my favorite. It's like a couple of tiers higher than my second favorite Marvel film at this point, which is Winter Soldier. Like, fucking, there's a gap there, and then everything else is below Winter Soldier. Like, Ragnarok is far and away my favorite. Captain Marvel had its what's that look for?
Nothing. It's just you. Winter Soldier is up there. I can't believe it's that far in front of Winter Soldier for you, and it's like you're like, half of that movie's not very good.
I didn't say half of that movie is not good. I didn't say
like
fucking half of that movie is not good. I said a fucking tenth of that movie is not
good. You said a third of that movie is
not good. And fucking how much of Winter Soldier is not good? Fucking hell! Oh my god, it's fucking
all of it's amazing.
14 hours long, and like, I guess he's gonna go talk to a fucking computer again. God damn it! Nobody gives a fuck. That's why he loves Vision so much, because he loves talking to fucking computers. Fuck that shit. No. Anyway, Captain Marvel is like if they reversed the polarity. Like, it's like typical Marvel shit, and then they've squeezed in some awesome shit. That's how I feel. Like, it's like the inverse of Ragnarok. And so, yeah, for me, it winds up being like pretty middle of the road. I enjoyed it. I liked it. I thought, yeah, it did some good stuff with its storytelling, but there's a giant chunk that I didn't like, and yeah, it winds up leaning on the formula pretty heavily.
Yeah, right. Yeah, no, I was in the second row, so I was quite close to the screen.
Fucking hell.
But yeah, for me, it was the action just seemed pretty ordinary. Like, you don't get this idea that she is like the most powerful Marvel character. Like, I didn't feel that walking away.
Yeah.
I think that was a big misstep for me anyway. And so
they tried. Right? It's difficult to talk about this because I don't want to fucking ruin it for anyone. But I think they tried, right? Like, they tried to convey a sense of power, or at least a sense of ultimately invulnerability. But it's not like it's difficult, right? With something like the Hulk, you can have him just fucking ripping tanks up and like ignoring shit and just sort of like.
But we've had like 5 movies of him doing that.
Yeah,
doing storylines about it.
But like she doesn't grow bigger, and like the things that you would throw at her don't necessarily like they're not. They needed to ground it first, right? They needed her to like just ignore a fucking missile or something. Like, you know, there's a lot of flying stuff in the game. They needed to have like automatic air defense systems track an unidentified flying object and attempt to shoot it from the sky, and it hit you know, this tense moment where it flies in and you're like, oh shit, oh it's gonna hit her, and then she doesn't even fucking flinch. Like, it is literally nothing to her, right? And then scale it up to like otherworldly shit, right? And then you'd have an idea, and then you'd like, because you need that baseline, right? You need the baseline where like we can immediately understand, like immediately relate the concept of not giving a fuck about that damage. Because once we're there, right? It's like the old, you know, how much is $1 million to you, right? It's like one briefcase, right? But $1 billion is enough briefcases to fill my entire fucking room, right? You can't, and $1 trillion, you can't like mentally picture. There is a point where a number is impossible for you to mentally picture, and the same goes for like scales of damage. In that, yeah, right. Smashing up some stuff, cool. That's cool, but because I have no frame of reference, it doesn't really have any impact. Like, it doesn't have the impact that it should, and that's what I think they needed to do, was properly establish a frame of reference. Start with someone just fucking. Sorry, anyone listeners. I just punched my fucking desk. Yeah, start with someone. Yeah, fucking like trying to shoot her in the face and ignored, and then a missile ignored, and then you're like, oh, okay, I get it. She doesn't get hurt by shit, right? Like, she can't be hurt by regular shit when she's popping off. Yeah, I think that's, you know, it's the Dragon Ball Z thing, right? Like, if Dragon Ball Z had started with them all in Super Saiyan 2, then you'd be like, damn, whatever. Yeah, I get it, right? But because you got fucking Krillin and fucking the other dickwads, Tien and shit, wasting everyone's time trying to get into a fight that they'll literally never be able to win, you got some frame of reference when Goku goes in and fucks everything up, right?
Right.
Exactly the same thing here.
Yeah.
But yeah, some awesome bits though. I really enjoyed like some of the stuff from
all the characters are good.
Yeah,
all of them. Yeah, like I think everybody's really good. There's characters in there that I didn't expect to show up. There was storylines in there I was pretty surprised by. Sam Jackson, I didn't expect him to be like in literally most of the movie.
Tell you what,
and that tech, like I said this,
the young guy tech.
Yeah, I think I said this during I think it was Ant-Man 2. I put it on I wrote this on Reddit. I put a post up on Reddit, I think it was, and I got a bunch of karma being like, hey, the tech in that is like spot on. Like, they're at a point now where it's indistinguishable. They were doing it with like 2 of the characters in that film. They were doing it with like Michael Douglas in the first one, but in the second one it looked like perfect. Yeah. And then in this one it's like, holy fuck, like you can't, at no point I felt like that like uncanny valley type thing. It just looked
except perfect. For anytime he runs anywhere, because he runs like a fucking 70-year-old man. He 100% does.
Yeah, there's a bit where he's running up some stairs with her, and there's like quick cuts.
Yeah, you're like, fucking hell, man, you're gonna kill Sam Jackson. Stop. Just get an elevator or something. Set the entire thing on one level. Fuck. Yeah.
But like, I'm at the point where I want to know how much money that shit costs to do that, and if it's feasible to just keep doing it in other films and just have. Because it looks awesome. He looks amazing in it.
Yeah, he does.
It's great.
Yeah, it's like it's a bit of a Nick Fury film, like I think like if they'd focused more on him in that first half, I think it would have been far more interesting. Like his chase after her would have been a more interesting element than her rolling around being bewildered. Like establish that she is, a stranger in a strange land, and then go across and do almost like a fucking cop type thing where you're following him do his shield agent shit. It'd be so much more interesting. And then like when they meet up again, because they meet up, he sort of just appears at one. He's like managed to catch up, right?
Yeah.
I would have rather watched him get there than her, steal some clothes and a bike. I think that would have been more interesting to me. But yeah, like that's probably the only real thing that I think, because Fury in that film was awesome, and like it felt like he was getting a sort of like he's always sort of been just this piece of string to hook everything together, but he actually like built him out a bit, and it was good. But yeah, I liked it. Like I definitely recommend going and seeing it. It's better than, I would say, more than half of the other Marvel films. It's in the top half of Marvel's films for me. I know that doesn't mean shitloads because there's like 21 movies now, right? Like there's 21 Marvel films now.
Yeah, in the last like 12 years.
Insane.
Well, 10 years. It's 10 years, right?
But it's in the, the top 10, I'd say, for me. So yeah, I'd go see it. My wife fucking loved it. Seemed like everyone watching in the cinema really liked it. There were some really good bits, but I won't talk about them because spoilers. If you're a fan of the Marvel stuff, and there is like some critical importance for Endgame. There's some, I guess.
There's stuff that ties into other films that have happened that aren't necessarily like things you need to know about. They're just like there's things that happen, and when that stuff happened I was like, oh shit, all right, and then it sort of starts to tie things in. Like there were characters showing up, I'm like, who the fuck is that? Like I know that person from somewhere, and then other things happen and you're like, oh okay, yeah, cool, I know where this is going. So that stuff is really cool. Like, the first time that like Ben Mendelsohn showed up at the beginning, I saw him for a split second, and then like he wasn't there anymore, and then Clark Gregg shows up, like Agent Coulson, and I was like, oh man, my eyes are getting bad. I thought that was Ben Mendelsohn.
Nate did exactly the same thing. Exactly the same thing. But yeah.
And then he did show up like later. I'm like, oh no, it was him.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Gold. He was awesome. He was probably the highlight of the film for me. But yeah, like, I don't think you need, like, if you've watched Infinity War, I think you've got all the information you need to know what's going on in Endgame. But this will provide extra context. It does provide extra context for what is to happen in Endgame. So
2 months, man.
Yeah, ludicrous. I cannot believe it's that close. It's insane.
Yeah, I was talking to my girlfriend last night about like, because she's like, they're not going to kill anybody in that. I'm like, yes, they are. She's like adamant that they're not going to kill anybody.
That's insane.
I'm like,
she's crazy.
No, they're going to murder a fuckload of people in that film. So I don't know. We'll see.
Yep.
All right, should we talk about some games?
Yep.
What should we go on first? Trials Rising. Let's get out of the way first.
Sure. You're still going?
Yeah, I played a bit more. I will add some criticism to that. Some negative criticism.
Yep.
Felt like we were pretty positive last week.
Yep.
It gets pretty grindy towards the medium to hard end of the
Basically,
tracks.
after you get out of fucking Asia.
Yeah, once you're about level 40, it really wants you to start focusing on earning levels, and once you get to certain levels, it starts unlocking extra content, extra maps, extra events, things like that. Now, I don't know about you, but I basically, before I even got to Europe, I'd done all in North America.
Yeah.
I golded all of that pretty much straight away. And then I got to, your Asia and Europe area.
Yep.
And I'm at the stage where most of it is either silver or gold. Like, there's no bronze.
Yep.
It's all silver and gold. And I'm still trying to grind to unlock the next sort of harder events. And
I've golded everything. I've done a bunch of tracks, like literally dozens of times, like just out of the course of my trophy hunting, my squirrel hunting, and I'm in exactly the same place. I actually wound up fucking looking it up, and people were like, just find contracts, like press LB. I don't know what it is on PC, but press LB and you can sort contracts, and so the only things that will show up on the map are contracts. And if you just do those, you get so much more XP. But it's not
a lot. It's like 150 points or something, isn't it?
Still a fucking slog, man. Like, yeah,
I don't know what it is, but
tuned it poorly. I don't know how or why, for what reason they have, but it's very poorly tuned. In terms of progression rate at that point, it's like a fucking wall. I'm not huge on that.
Yeah, because I thought I'd missed something, and I'm like, where is all the unlock stuff? And I found like 2 events, the stadium events, where initially you kind of do, like, it's like come in the top 4, and then the other one is like come in the top 2, and then you got to win this one.
Yep.
You don't necessarily have to do them back to back. You just kind of do the track and you get your medal. And then the last one that unlocks is a heat where you've got to do basically that same set again, but one after the other. So you actually have to come in the top 4th. And if you get to the last map and you don't win, you've got to start from the very scratch again, like back at the start of that heat.
Yeah.
They were the only 2 things that I didn't notice that I'd missed, but then I went back and did them. And I'm still like, oh, okay, I've still got to actually grind through.
Still got fucking contracts. Yeah.
So I don't. And just like navigating a lot of that stuff, it can be quite difficult. Like trying to figure out just what you haven't done because the map is so big. Just moving around, being like, all right, well, what can I go and do? What contracts are done? Like you said, you've got to hit these bumpers and sort of trigger filters to show all that sort of stuff. But you still got to move around a map.
Yeah.
I don't like the way the leaderboard system is set up. Having to like actually going to a track, it's like 3 or 4 buttons to go and check people's times. Like I'd like to be able to like in that initial menu you've got, hey, it'll say Joby has done this time on this track. You can't actually go on there and be like, all right, well, let me try and do that. You've got to go back into the game. And
you're not able to see my time still, are you?
No, I can't, but I'm just...
Which drives me fucking bananas. Like the amount of... because I was posting... I posted a couple of things on Twitter, and then, like, in previous Trials games, the fucking times situation has been a huge part of what has been keeping people playing, like chasing new times. But I am basically only competing against Stu Golan and Steve Farrelly at this point.
Yeah.
Like, and it's just doesn't keep me in it. I don't like...
It doesn't do a good enough job of giving you that information easily and like readily available to be like, oh, okay, I can go back and do this stuff. You actually
I'd be way more interested though. Yeah, well, yeah, no, that's true. 100% true. I can actually find your times, but I'd be way more into it if I was getting the prompts telling me that you'd beaten one of my times, or that Cyrils had beaten one of my times, or like that sort of stuff. I cannot understand why they haven't tied it to Uplay. I don't get it. The fact that it's tied to the fucking console leaderboards itself is such a fucking dick punch. And it drives me bananas. It's like, yeah. I'm I'm genuinely tempted to get it on PC just so I can fucking compete. But now that I've hit this fucking wall,
I've got a Switch code if you want
fuck that. J Ray Junglist was messaging me. He's like, "Oh, how come I can't smash all your times?" And I'm like, "Because you shit at the video game." And he's like, "No, I would destroy your times." I'm like, "Are you playing on Xbox?" He's like, "No, I'm on PC." I'm like, "That's what it is." He's like, "I got it on Switch." I'm like, "Well, you're not going to beat any of my fucking times on Switch."
that. You're not beating anybody on Switch.
You reckon he said challenge accepted, but it's not going to happen. Good luck,
Right.
champ. Yeah, never going to happen. Yeah, that's a fair criticism, in my opinion. It's probably the biggest criticism I have of the game is the leaderboard system, and the grind. Definitely couldn't have seen it coming. I don't understand why it's like that. It's not like they sell XP boosters or some shit, is it? Like, I haven't seen anything like that. So
the only thing I can think of is that they want you to really nail those mechanics of the things we were talking about last week, of like the vertical landing and making sure that you can actually hit these landings and not roll backwards, and stick them properly. But because I know that stuff is in the harder missions because I've played them during my preview.
yeah,
And like I said during that discussion, Nate and I were on one mission and we spent fucking ages, one track, just trying to like get over this hurdle. And I mean, I get the idea of them wanting you to learn sort of the mechanics and the behaviors of the bike, but why can't I do that on the track as opposed to, just learning it on something else? And I don't know, it's just weird. It's just strangely paced because I should just unlock it. I don't know, as opposed to having me grind. Like I've said, literally silver and golds.
Yeah.
Throughout my entire course, and like no bronze. I don't know what's. It just wants me to grind.
Yeah.
And I'm not interested in doing contracts. I'm not interested in doing 12 backflips and 8 front flips without any faults. That's not fun.
That's it. That's literally the only way forward, which is kind of annoying because I don't feel like doing like 0 faults 40 fucking backflip runs is teaching me anything other than frustration.
Yeah, I mean, there's no gameplay advantages in any of that stuff.
Yeah.
That's why they got rid of tricks in the last game, or from the last game. Like, they're not in there anymore.
Yeah.
Because nobody gives a shit about them. They're, you're trying to get the fastest times as possible. You're not trying to do backflips.
Yeah.
For funsies.
Yeah.
The whole idea of that game is trying to get the fastest times, and getting air is not the way to get the fastest times unless you're looking for shortcuts or achievement hunting.
Yeah.
It's a strange decision.
Yep.
All right. What else we got here? Ape Out. Let's talk about Ape Out.
Oh yeah, I like this. It's very cathartic.
It's released now, right? I'm pretty sure it's out.
Is it out? I don't know.
I've seen reviews when I was looking for news earlier. So yes, I believe it is out now. It is basically a fucking puzzle game, like a top-down puzzle game where you play an ape who is in a cage that breaks out and needs to get to the end of the level.
I don't want to say it's an ape escape, but it's definitely not legally connected to the Ape Escape series.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. There's something about apes escaping, though, that seems to capture the imaginations of video game developers, and I'm not sure what it is. But Rampage, true, and Ape Escape, I guess, as well. But yeah, Ape Out, you break it out, you're getting the fuck out.
It's a top-down game where you're basically getting from one end of a maze to the other.
Yep.
There are enemies throughout with weapons. It's pretty simple mechanics. You basically can either grab stuff, other enemies, and throw them, or you can punch them. And you've just got to basically avoid their damage. You can't take a lot. It's sometimes between 1 to 3 hits. There are different types of enemies that show up later that can just one-shot you. but otherwise it's pretty simple in terms of getting from one end to the other. They seem to be procedurally generated in some like tile sets.
Yeah, the levels. Yeah, it's definitely put together out of tile sets, and it definitely like winds up using the same connectors a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Or almost, I think, every time in a couple of cases. But I think that's for specific puzzle reasons. Yeah, so it's sort of like, a maze solve combined with brutal violence, played entirely with this like percussion jazz soundtrack that semi reacts to your actions.
Yeah,
which
it does that thing of, I mean, you'd see YouTube videos of it where people are like playing drums over the top of video clips, like people talking like to the beat of that.
Right.
Or I think Whiplash did something similar in the intro for that film. Did you ever see Whiplash?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that it had something similar in the credits to that. But yeah, it's like playing drums as you're hurting enemies or like doing certain things within the world. And yeah, it adds a lot of style to it.
It's got like a beat going, and then when you do something, when you like smash an enemy, it'll like
hit a cymbal.
Yeah, or like, a quick roll or something. And yeah, it sort of creates its own rhythm, its own music out of what you're doing, which is some hardcore violence.
Yeah, and if you start doing like chaining combos, the music starts like building up pace, and as you stop doing stuff, it slows right like back down. That first like minute is awesome. That opening of the credits screen going on when you first break out, and it comes up with all the designers' names. Bennett Foddy worked on this game, as well. It looks like some art. It says. He's an Australian, right? Yeah, Bennett Foddy's an Australian. I think he's in New York, or he's in the States, I believe, at the moment, working. But yeah, man, I was quite surprised. I've not played a lot of it. I'm only at the second area. It's sort of split up into stages where there's your first stage is multiple levels, and it's sort of telling this story as you progress. And then you get to the next section, and it takes you to another type of environment. So I haven't played any of that stuff. I don't know about you, but
no, I'm still struggling through. There's some enemies that keep fucking me, goofing up on.
So my first playthrough, that first stage, took about 18 minutes.
Yeah,
I think, because you get to the end, it tells you how many times you died. Or when you die, it kind of zooms out and shows you the map, like that stage, that level, and the route that you've taken. And so once you get to the end of that stage, it's like, oh, here's how many times you died, here's how long it took, and then you can go to the next area and do that, or you can go back and replay it. I'll have some video up because I went and captured some video.
Cool.
And then the second playthrough, I think I did it in like 8 minutes or something like that.
Yeah, nice.
Which wasn't quick because I died a couple of times on purpose to show. Because I got to the third level or something, or fourth, and I hadn't really taken much damage, so I died a couple of times to like show people.
Sure, you did.
What was going on?
On purpose, he says.
Because then after that, I don't die for the rest of the game. Otherwise, I'm just missing some of that cool. Because I think that stuff looks really neat when it happens. So.
Yeah, it's
I'll have video footage up.
It's very cathartic, like just rolling through and smashing some shit. It does remind me of Rampage a little bit. You just sort of bash some guards. I like to grab them and use them as bullet shields. It's a bit rough, but it's good. And grabbing the big door and like slamming it onto a whole bunch of people, and then just going fucking rage, smashing as many people as you can. Grabbing it and
through a really narrow hallway and using it as like a bullet shield, and then piling up like 6 guys and just throwing it. Is funny. But yeah, it's very good. I don't know how much it is. Do you have any idea?
I have no idea.
It'd be on all like the Steam type of platforms.
Yeah.
It is called Ape Out.
Ape Out.
APE.
$21.50 Australian. Yeah, it's good.
It's good.
It's good fun.
I'd need to play more.
Oh yeah, I'll definitely play more. 100%.
Yeah. I don't know what this. I feel like this guy's made stuff before, right? That was really popular.
Don't know.
But I don't remember what he'd done.
Excellent. Another Gap classic.
I know I looked it up the first time, and then I was like, oh, okay, yeah, fair enough. I've heard of those games before.
Minutes? Is that him?
Nah, I don't think that's him.
No, I don't think it is either. Alright. I don't know. Anyway. What's next? Black Future 88.
Yeah, another indie game.
Yes. Another game I really like. Sort of, it's like a shoot 'em up cross with Dead Cells. So it's Metroidvania. You roll around a big level, trying to get through as fast as possible. You've only got 18 minutes to complete a run, and
before your heart explodes.
Yeah, and then you've got to kick off again. And it does all this interesting shit with time, the way it uses time for certain things. I was using a gun that used time as its ammunition, and I had no idea. And it was super powerful gun. And so I was just pissing away my fucking seconds, wrecking everything though. But yeah, basically it's a shoot 'em up. So sort of think like Contra type, side scroller, and you kill things, but you go from screen to screen as you would in a Metroidvania. And it's sort of randomized the way the levels are set out and the enemies and that kind of stuff. And once you get far enough, you take on a boss, and then you go to the next level. It's really cool. I love the sort of, it has this synth vibe to its sort of cyberpunk style, synth style vibe that I'm all about.
Including the art style.
Yeah. It does actually get a little bit difficult to make out what's going on screen a couple of times when a lot of effects are going on.
Yeah.
And stuff, which I'm not huge on. But otherwise, it's got like curses and boons that do different things. You can dash again. When you dash, you're invincible, so you dash instead of rolling, but you're invincible while you're dashing, and that's how you avoid a lot of damage. But you can also, upgrade your dash so that when you dash through someone, you do damage to them. You can add an extra dash, or if you kill someone, you can dash immediately, and all this kind of stuff, so that you can upgrade your character to a point where you're just fucking wrecking everything. I had a gun where when I killed someone, it would teleport me to their position. Mm-hmm. And if you can aim manually if you want where you shoot, but if you just press without aiming, you will just auto aim at the nearest enemy.
Yeah.
And so I'd fire this gun, kill someone, and then teleport to them, fire again as soon as I got there, and kill someone else, and I just sort of teleport all over this fucking map, just murdering everything, which felt like a fucking, this cyberpunk ninja shit, which was sick. And then, go on to the next screen and see what's happening. Which, I was huge on. I love it. If I have any criticism, and I do, it's that the levels have these hard roofs. Have you noticed that? You fucking smash into a roof and it really fucks up your jump. And the amount of times I've had to I've really killed a bunch of time having to go back and
platform
jump
back up.
Oh my lord, it's a pain in the dick. Like they got to raise the ceiling on those fucking levels a ton, so that you never do that because it really harms the flow. Like you get into a really good fucking rhythm playing the game, and yeah, and then suddenly you hit a fucking roof. Like
right, yeah.
The enemies aren't what stops you; it's some fucking ceiling, and you're like,
because generally the doors to get to the next screen are in the corners of the room.
In the top corners and shit. Yeah,
or the bottom corners. Yeah. I haven't done any of that stuff, but for me, I think my biggest gripe is that I don't know how much damage I'm doing to things or like how much health they've got left apart from the bosses.
Yeah.
Like the bosses are the only things that have health bars, and everything else in the world is just like you're just hitting it and you're like, I don't know how much damage, like is this gun actually any good?
It does get.
Are they just tanky?
That gets pretty hairy in the after the second boss. Like yeah, because up until then, most of your guns just do one shot kill. But at that point, yeah, you do start to not kill things in the first go. And you're like, how many fucking shots is this going to take? Like, yeah, am I using the wrong gun here? Should I not be rocking this or something like that? Yeah, but. Yeah, that is annoying. I think there are health bars, but you can't see them because of the art style. They're just difficult to see. I'm not sure.
I don't think there is a health bar.
Yeah, maybe
not.
Or
it's something that, is so obscure that I've not noticed it, because that was one thing I'm like, I don't know how much damage I'm doing to this thing. Because it gives you, there's different weapons that enemies drop, and it's the thing of like you can only have 2 weapons at a time.
Yep.
Some of them use ammo, some of them are infinite bullets. And then it's like, well, I don't know if this weapon is actually any good. Like you've got no comparison in a game like Dead Cells. There's damage numbers. It's like this is a level 8 sword or whatever, and it does this much damage, and here's the different properties it's got on it. Whereas in Black Future, I just don't know. I'm just like, it's a nail gun. I'm like, okay, fair enough. I don't really understand what it's doing, but yeah, we'll try that and see what happens. So yeah, the only time I'm really knowing whether or not a gun is good is when I go up against the boss and I look at the health bar.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, yeah, this thing's shredding. I'll stick with that.
I do wonder if that is supposed to happen so that you learn the guns and stuff, but at the same time, yeah, I'm not huge on it.
I don't have the patience to do that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go, sit there and dig numbers out just to get to a boss and just run up to it with a gun and be like, okay, yeah, I'll not use this again.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, it's we're playing a preview build.
Yeah.
I don't know if it does that thing of like gives you other abilities as you go along. I know there's different characters that seem to have different types of play styles.
I got one where you can slow down time with the left trigger. That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, so it seems like you would take that over the other person, right? Because they don't have any ability.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
Because I was trying to figure out
what the downside is and shit.
Yeah, because I couldn't figure out how to go to a screen to be like, all right, what's their positives and negatives? Because the first time you get the character, it's like, here's the things it can do. But once you get back into the game and you can actually select the those characters, there's no like, it's not like you standing in front of them, it comes up with a pop-up that says, here's what their specials are. You just kind of use it and off it goes. I don't know if it's a hidden menu somewhere or anything like that, but yeah, just as I was playing, I noticed that. Yeah, it's like, I think it's good. It's not as, it's no Dead Cells. I think that is obviously the benchmark, right? That's the high ceiling.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was kind of like, I don't think it's as impactful as a game like Rogue Legacy for me. Like Rogue Legacy was kind of the first one that really stood out.
Yeah.
And then obviously Dead Cells came along. Because Rogue Legacy was doing that interesting thing of you would buy items or take on traits of your ancestors and things like that. Whereas this just, it's not doing any of that sort of stuff. You're just kind of unlocking extra characters.
But you're unlocking other guns to pick up in the world and stuff like that, and have you experiment further and stuff like that. The characters obviously You know, there's experimentation there. I mean, it is growing your world as you go through it. It is not to the same extent as Rogue Legacy, certainly,
Yeah.
or you know, Dead Cells even. But I don't think it's, I don't think it's that big a detriment. I mean, Dead Cells does gate a significant amount of shit behind, like, the cells system itself, right? Like, it's hard to see, but yeah, it's hard to notice, maybe not hard to see, but yeah, like it does sort of slow you down there with souls and shit. Yeah, I don't know.
Whereas this one is you're collecting money, currency, and going to shops and unlocking or buying weapons or ammo boxes. There's like shrines that you come across. Are they obelisks or something like that?
Yeah, they're
called.
Is that what they're called?
I can't remember.
Yeah, I think they're obelisks. Yeah.
That are like cursed, and you select an ability, and you know, like the one you were talking about, where it sort of trades ammo for the amount of time you've got left. So it'll give you like 3 options, and you got to kind of pick one. And there's other times where you come across a good ability, and it'll be, you know, you can dash 2 times now instead of once, or you know, you can dash through walls or through enemies and it causes damage. Sometimes you'll reflect bullets or projectiles. So yeah, there's sort of, as you progress through the levels, it gives you more and more abilities to help you get further.
Yeah.
So yeah, game's available in April, I believe.
Yep. I believe you're correct. I think you're correct. Yes.
Yeah.
We're probably wrong. We're always wrong, but yeah. I reckon check it out. Especially if you're, I don't know, drifting away from Dead Cells. It's I don't think anything's ever gonna fucking reach. That's the zenith. That'd be like, but yeah, not playing other games similar to it would be like not playing fucking. Well, or not playing fucking open world games because fucking Red Dead Redemption 2 exists, right? Like, you could certainly criticize it in the face of Red Dead Redemption 2's existence, but I wouldn't be writing other games off just because Red Dead Redemption 2 exists. And same goes for Dead Cells and Black Future, in my opinion.
Sure.
But they gotta fucking lift those ceilings 100%. Honest to God, it drives me fucking bonkers every time I get, like, I fuck up my jump. Yeah. Because I hit a fucking roof. Yeah, anyway. What else do we got?
Apex Legends.
Oh, no, here's one. Speaking of games that pale in comparison because Red Dead Redemption 2 exists, it's called Days Gone.
I thought we were going to leave that to the end.
Oh, fuck it, we're going in now. Yeah. Not sure, like, I played this in preview a couple of weeks ago now. We're finally allowed to talk about it. I'm not certain I know what I expected out of this, but it wasn't what I got. I think I was sort of expecting a sort of pretty linear zombie game with a character that has the worst fucking name in video game history, Deacon St. John. It is a abomination. But apart from that, that's not this game at all. It's pretty fucking open form, like open world. You after a bunch of like linear shit at the start, you're pretty free to do whatever the fuck you want. It's more like, it's closer to me to, was that fucking Xbox game?
State of Decay.
State of Decay. It's closer to me to State of Decay than it is to The Last of Us, which is obviously a good thing, because you don't want to like go up against The Last of Us. But yeah, it is odd, right, to me that Sony is publishing The Last of Us and Days Gone, being that they do sort of swim in the same river as one another. But I think they can exist side by side. That's not to say that I think Days Gone is necessarily good, though. And I like to come back to the Red Dead Redemption thing. I think there are a lot of similarities, right? There are a lot of similarities between Red Dead and Days Gone thematically and like also gameplay wise. Obviously, there's no zombies in Red Dead yet, but like to me, the motorcycle gang member is the outlaw cowboy of modern times, right? And it sort of feels like if you wanted to avoid having to have way too many people in your game world, you could just kill most of them off with a zombie apocalypse and then replace a shit ton of them with like freakers, that sort of thing. So in a lot of ways, yeah, this is it's a cowboy game, a cowboy survival game in an open world. It's just set in modern times. Instead of a regular horse, you've got a steel horse, to borrow a term from the great John Bon Jovi. Yeah, you know, on the steel horse you ride, and that's about it. Like you go solving, or doing shit and surviving and all this kind of stuff. And that's like, and Days Gone is really about that survival situation. It's got a day-night cycle. It counts how many days like occur, like while you're living in this world. The Days Gone thing is literally a counter referring to how many days since like Z Day, I guess you might say, right? It's got all that kind of stuff. Yeah, you like it's got the Last of Us's like, do I want to make bandages or do I want to make Molotov cocktails decision making shit, and yeah, you're scavenging for like bits to make bombs or arrows or all that kind of shit, and at the same time you're trying to clear out areas and like just basically live in this world but make it safer to live from here on out. There's just, I have some real problems with the way it like sort of tackles a bunch of shit. Like, I don't think you would want to be on a motorbike in the zombie apocalypse. Not like not a hog. They're loud as fuck. Like, there's all this like real basic thematic shit that it doesn't really work through to my satisfaction as a giant zombie game nerd. I sort of figured like it would be like DayZ Gone, right? Like, why wouldn't you? If you're going to make a giant open world to like live in and survive in, why wouldn't you make it as fucking pedantic as a game like DayZ? Instead, they go pretty high level with the survival stuff, and they don't like, you know, you shooting a gun doesn't really attract attention or something. Like, it should be you shoot a gun. You don't want to shoot a gun. Like, you're rocking a crossbow because it's a silent weapon, and you know it's got a fucking 4-second reload time. But you'd rather like just nail your fucking shots with the crossbow because it's silent than risk firing even a fucking pistol because it rings the dinner bell, right? It'll call in hell from all over, and then you're fucked. That's not the case here. You shoot a gun, yeah, fine. You ride your bike, whatever. Like, it doesn't really respect the concept of trying to survive in the zombie apocalypse to the extent that I think it should. I know it's always unfair to judge a game by what it's not doing, but like, this seems like pretty basic zombie shit to me, right? And if we go back to the Red Dead Redemption thing, fuck me, those two games should switch their inventory gathering shit, right? In Red Dead, you should be able to just fucking scoop shit into your fucking satchel as quick as possible, and in Days Gone, you should like meticulously pick shit up and put it in one at a time. Because in Days Gone, you're like fucking whoop on a go, but like it doesn't make sense because in Days Gone, you're sneaking through a fucking service station surrounded by a bunch of freakers, which is their name for zombies because they're not dead or whatever. Yeah, you're sneaking through a fucking service station trying to get a bunch of like medicine or whatever the fuck, right? Or a fuel pump for your car or shit, right? And oh, sorry, your bike, or whatever. And like, yeah, you just sort of like, yep, cool, got it, bingo bango. There's no like inventory management or anything like that. And I'm not like fucking, oh yeah, I love inventory management. Nothing gets me fucking harder than fucking sorting some squares like in Resident Evil or some shit. Love staring at a grid in my zombie game, but there is something to be said for the idea, the critical choices you wind up making in those situations where you're like, well, I got to fit a fucking fuel pump in here, so I guess I'm gonna have to get rid of these bandages, right? Like that's sadly my only fucking choice. Is something's got to go. I'm not hurt right now. Hopefully, I can get out without getting hurt, and I can get away with not having to have these bandages. That sort of shit, right? And you should be like very slowly picking shit up because you're trying to be quiet to not like alert every fucking zombie in the near fucking vicinity. But because the game doesn't care about that sort of stuff, it's hard for you to care about that sort of stuff, and it sort of robs the game of the tension as a result. Like you're like, well, yeah, there's zombies nearby, but who gives a shit? I'll just fucking, if they hear me, then I'll kill them, and if I can't kill them, then I guess I'll die and I'll start over again, and like we'll wrap it up that way. It, like robs the game of its own stakes through that sort of lack of care for its own internal logic, which is obviously a bad thing in my opinion. Yeah, like Deacon St. John, it's a dumb fucking name, but he's good. Like, there's good characterization there. It's an interesting character, and he's got interesting relationships, which, like that seems like the game is about. I guess exploring those relationships and the relationship he has with the area he's in and all that kind of stuff. But, sorry, that was big thing.
Sounds like a vuvuzela or something.
Yeah, like it's I don't know, I think it's gonna be difficult for a lot of people to look past because The Last of Us has so much attention to detail, like with regards to its own like world building and internal game logic and stuff like that. And I don't think it is very The Last of Us, but I don't think you can ignore the similarities. It is, they're both published by Sony, so there's no way you wouldn't look at it and say, do I just wait for The Last of Us? I don't know. Maybe. I mean, if you're hanging out for a zombie game, this will get you there. But there's just little bits. I mean, the Horde shit is awesome. The Hordes are terrifying. Individual zombies are like can be pretty threatening. Like maybe not one, but like 3 or 4 zombies can be pretty fucking frightening. But beyond that, not that bad. Until they reach this fucking. There's hundreds of them, and you're just sort of riding along, and there's just fucking hundreds of zombies. You're like, all right, that is properly freaky. And they start chasing you. You can like ride away, but you got fuel management to deal with and all that kind of stuff. You can get away, but yeah, if you were trying to get to a fuel station or trying to get some extra petrol or whatever the fuck, like, and you're running out, it might be too late. You might have to do something about them. You might have to fight, and it's properly freaky. There's zombie bears and zombie wolves, and they're scary as fuck. There's regular bears and regular wolves, and they're scary as fuck. Like, there's a lot right in this game. There's just this weird, like, just I don't know. Maybe they wanted to be more gamey, and doing it any other way was not gamey enough, or something. But whatever it is, yeah, the game like just lacks that critical tension that I think a zombie game needs. Also, you can't swim, uh, which I think is weird in 2019. Uh, I drowned multiple times in the preview session, and I drowned in water that would come up to about my neck. Because after he can't really touch the bottom anymore, he starts swimming or dog paddling. But because he can't swim, he slows to a super crawl, and then so if you don't turn back immediately, then you have to continue forward, and yeah, he will drown before you've swum from one side of my office to the other. That's it for him. He's like, nah, like
I'm giving up.
I can't work it out to save my life. I guess I'll die now.
Yeah.
Which is also weird in the face of Red Dead Redemption 2 existing and giving John Marston so much fucking shit about not being able to swim. They made such a big deal about it in that game. And here we are. And it's another game where nobody can fucking swim. It's just weird. Yeah. What else is there?
Did you do any of the horde like trap stuff where you have to set up an area and then you sort of trigger it?
No.
Okay.
I did go into an area. There's there's a couple of different factions in the game, and I was going to one of the like crazy factions to go kill them all. I did go into that faction area, and they had traps set up everywhere. And apart from stepping on basically every bear trap that ever existed, much to my infinite amusement. Apart from that, once I like cleared out the area, a horde came through, and yeah, any traps I hadn't fucking triggered myself, we got to see used on the zombies, which was pretty cool. It's the horde stuff is easily the most interesting part of Days Gone. It doesn't happen all the time. I had to go hunting for it basically, but when it happens, that is some hairy shit. It's definitely going to be it's how they want to sell that game 100%. It is awesome. You just fucking piss bolting from one trap that you're pretty sure it works to the next, climbing up like stuff, jumping away from stuff, maybe like figuring, oh, do I just run my bike and get the fuck out? That's the game at its best. If that was like on a more micro level, if it had that same attention to like zombie logic on a more micro level, it would be such a interesting game. But yeah, I worry that it's not there. Yeah.
Right. How many hours did you play?
3 hours.
Yeah. And it was basically just
we did like the start of the game, like from the very beginning, and then after like sort of the first day, it kicked us forward a bunch, and yeah, we're just sort of exploring. So we did sort of like the tutorial system. My game crashed right near the end, and the last autosave was quite a ways back, which was a bit of a dick punch. But what are you going to do? It's a preview session.
Right. So there are main missions and side missions and that sort of thing?
Yeah, there are, and it's all done via this faction system, and you go bounty hunting, and that earns you like currency and stuff that you can use to trade with people, and you can customize your bike and get better weapons and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, there's reasons to go out and do things beyond trying to clear the world of zombies or trying to make places safe and stuff, which will definitely help encourage people to continue to play. There's like a sense of progression there. Yeah, like it does a lot of things quite right. For me, as like a zombie game nerd, it just misses a couple of specific things.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. When is that? That's this year, right? Is it May?
Yeah.
Right. Oh, April. It's next month. Yeah, man. I guess we'll see. Like, yeah, when I played it at E3, it seemed pretty. It's got like those. Yeah, I think I've said it before. Like those types of games are hard to gauge when, like, open world games sometimes can be just like I don't really.
Yeah.
You need a lot of time with some of that stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I had enough time to necessarily fully judge it.
Unless it's like a Red Dead where they're like, here's fucking 800 systems and we're going to show you this in the span of 3 hours. And you're like, all right, this is different. I've not seen any of this before.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whereas the stuff that I've seen from Days Gone has been like, yeah, okay. It's an open world game that...
Yeah.
I mean, apart from the horde mechanics and like the... like setting up traps in sort of areas to clearing out. I can't remember what they're called. So like bases,
yeah,
where you set up all your traps, like gas canisters around the place,
yeah,
and you know, sort of run around a maze and have them chase you around, you know, through obstacles and whatnot. Yeah, that stuff seems interesting, but otherwise, the mission structures seem pretty like stuff we've seen before. I like the thing you mentioned about looking for the fuel pump. I think is the same one that I did at E3.
Yeah,
there was two of them. There was like a one of your mates is on top of the mountain and he gets caught out. No? Right, and there's like one of the other factions that are like they're like burning him.
Oh yeah, no, that was right. That's vaguely the same thing. Yeah,
same thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm definitely keen to see more of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it seems like this isn't the one Sony's pushing for their tentpole release this year. It seems like Last of Us is going to be there maybe end of the year. Sounds like that's coming out this year from what we're hearing. So yeah, we'll see.
Yep.
Cool. What else you got? Apex Legends.
Apex Legends.
Still playing it.
Still playing it.
New update is out. Is it out or are they just talking about it?
It's not out yet.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, some good changes, I guess.
Yeah. Some like there was a big post about how the hitboxes weren't super accurate for some of the characters.
Yeah, we talked about last week.
Yeah, and there was also like some concerns that characters with generally large hitboxes were relatively underpowered. They've added some big buffs to Caustic and a minor buff, in my opinion, to Pathfinder, but they have also like shored up his hitboxes, so it should be it should be better in that sense. They're being pretty incremental about that, but they're also adjusting some of the weapons. They're nerfing the Wingman and the Peacekeeper.
Yep.
Which I guess makes sense.
I think the Peacekeepers, yeah, that's probably the big one.
Yeah.
Wingman is it's still one of those things where you need to hit your shots.
Yeah.
Right. Or have extended magazines for it to be useful. Because it does, I think it's 40 damage. to the
Yeah,
body, and then depending on your headshots, does a lot more. But
it was doing
man,
like 100. It was
right.
100 to the head
Oh,
with the skull piercer,
yeah.
but they've lowered that. So it's no longer a one shot, I guess.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah.
In the Peacekeeper, they've changed the rechamber rate
Yeah, so
for the shotgun bolt. What does that mean?
is is that like the rate of fire basically for it? That's what I
I thought the
understand.
reload.
Well, like rechambering is the because you've got the reload is 6 shells,
Yeah.
then it rechambers after each shot, and the
Mm.
isn't that what the bolt does?
I
Is
don't know. Because it says here level 1 mitigation, level 2, and level 3, and they've changed percentages on that.
yeah, I'm not, I guess 100% sure. The reduced availability of both weapons across the board as well. So
That's good. There's wingmans all over the place.
there are often way too many fucking wingmans.
As long as there's more Mozambiques, I'm okay with that.
Yay! And increased availability of the energy weapons and ammo in all tiers.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
I use them when I can. I think some of them are very good, especially when you've got their mods on there. Like some of them shred, man. The is it Devulsion?
devotion. Yeah,
I can't remember what it's called.
yeah,
Yeah, that thing's good. Like it destroys people. I like a lot of the LMGs, man. A lot of those are very good once you wind them up.
yeah, yeah.
The Havoc is good with its attachment as well. I think without it, it's pretty useless. But with the attachment, it
Fucking pointless with that.
does some damage.
Yeah, yeah. So that's cool. I'll definitely try out more guns now that there's going to be like fewer peacekeepers. It's generally in most games I will just hold out for a peacekeeper. It's my favorite gun, easy, like 100%. It's my favorite gun. So I will generally rock a fucking Eva 8 as my other gun. I like have probably a frontline or an R301. If I can
Yeah.
find a prowler with the attachment, I'll go that instead. But yeah, I'll go one of those two, and then I'll just hold on to a shotgun as my alternative. And so the thing of it is, right, like having more shotgun ammo than you can use only takes up one slot. Takes up one slot in your inventory. Having like enough ammo
Yeah,
for both,
64's heaps. Yeah.
yeah, it's fucking tons. Having enough for like both a light ammo weapon and a heavy. Having the fucking R301 and the Prowler combo, like you got to make a fucking critical decision there. Are you gonna roll around with like 2 clips of fucking Prowler, or are you gonna roll around with fucking 2 clips of R301 ammo? Like
Sure.
it's a bit of a rough one, but if you go for more than that for either, then yeah, you're critically restricting the amount of other shit you can carry, which is like, you know, armor replenish, fucking way too many grenades. I'd rather carry way too many grenades any day of the week compared to more ammo for a gun. Fucking nothing harries people more than just fucking pinging them with fucking 15 grenades all at once.
Yeah.
People shit their pants.
Yeah.
It's good. I've gotten a fucking ton of grenade kills over the last week. I'm definitely getting my eye in with that shit now. Getting the timing of them correct. So you got to get the right timing for the grenade to make it so that they don't have a chance of getting away.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the trick. Yeah.
I like downing people and then throwing the grenade that sticks to people on them, and then like a friend will come over and start reviving
Yeah.
them, and they're like, "Oh no, fuck!"
Well, there was that they did their, was it 50 million players video or
Yeah.
50 million accounts video, and the first one on it is someone sticks an arc grenade to a teammate and they go swing in and
Right.
into a group of people and explode on them.
Oh, okay.
Hilarious. That's pretty good.
I saw the post in the update today where they mentioned how people were putting portals off cliffs and for Wraith. I've not seen that happen before. I've not come across that.
It's gold.
That's pretty funny though.
That is pretty funny.
Because I don't see portals much, Job.
Oh, don't you? Don't you?
No.
Why is that? Who's our Wraith player, Luke?
Is it you?
It's not me. It's not. It's Dr. E3 or something. But yeah.
No, I'm playing a lot of Bloodhound. I still like Bloodhound. I think he's definitely like one you need in your team.
Yeah.
I like that they're nerfing Lifeline a little bit. I think that there's too many Lifelines around. A lot.
I don't think the nerf is enough to make. I don't think we'll see fewer Lifelines.
No.
Yeah, like just the fact that you won't get level 4 stuff isn't going to mean you're not going to see her anymore. 100%. I'd still
level
rather.
4 is just the golds, right?
Yeah. Like if I can get a decent chance at some purple armor late game, fucking bring it on. Bring on a Lifeline. I'm not going to play her, but like I'd definitely love to have her in the team. Yeah, Wraith's been nerfed to. The Q is now 25-second cooldown, which is a pretty fucking significant one. That's like a 25% increase. And Bangalore, she now only gets a 30% speed boost compared to 40%. I guess we'll have to see how that one works out in action. I still love my Pathfinder. I assume he's going to get even better now. Now that he's harder to hit, so that should be cool. Yeah. I'm excited. Like
yeah. I mean, there's stuff in there that I still want to see them change.
Yeah.
Like what other things I want to see? I don't know. Just some of the areas just feel very empty to me.
There's that stretch between water treatment up to market that is sort of just nothing area, like just sort of dead area.
Well, the problem with that is. So you've got water treatment down in the south, and then if you go west, sort of around there, there's like nothing there. It's just all open area. There's like a cylinder raised bit, like a little platform around that part, but that's it. Like there's nothing there, and you've got all those sort of turbines. I'm not sure what they're called. Those like circular bits in the middle of the water treatment facility.
Yeah.
There's nothing in there. It's just like all empty.
Yeah.
There's just too much of that. I think they've got to add more crates or just more cover or something around places like that.
Yeah.
Because there's just like there's just nothing there. It feels like they could just add a building over in that corner or something like that.
Yeah.
It's very barren. But otherwise, it's playing good at the moment. There's like the last week I've had like 3 or 4 games where there's been lag issues. Something's going on with the servers.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's because they're just getting smashed.
Yeah.
But that's the first time I've really started to notice it.
Yep.
After 2 or 3 minutes, it does sort of settle that down a bit. But otherwise, it's always been at the start of the game, which has been quite strange. But yeah, I think I'm still in the place where I feel like these changes are coming out a bit too slow.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, the fact that it's not there, like the fact that this update isn't actually out yet, certainly makes me think that, like, if this was out, I'd be like, okay, that's it. This is the beginning, right? This is where they need to start, and it needs to be really they need to be on top of shit with their releases. But we're not even at the beginning yet. We're still at like day 0. We're not even day 1 with their releases now. Yeah, like we're still waiting for when season 1's going to be there, whenever the fuck that is.
Yeah, March.
Yeah.
We're a week out of March now. There's 3 weeks left.
Yeah.
Over
the course of the week, we'll be talking about a few hot topics, and we're kicking things off with a patch that is live on all platforms with some fixes. So that's out today, but that's not the big one. They're talking about like all this stuff we've been talking about is not coming until the beginning of season 1.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. They gotta get on top of this shit. 100%. And like they can trot out the, we don't want to make sweeping changes all they like. And I 1000% appreciate that. But like, yeah, other stuff. I don't know, man. Like they can experiment with whatever the fuck they want. They should be able to adjust like spawn rates and stuff for like items however the fuck they like.
They push that out, man.
Yeah.
Just push it out.
Just experiment. See what it does. Right?
Yeah. Try for a week. Change it. No one's gonna give a shit.
Yep.
I don't know. They're just treating it really weirdly in terms of updates. The game's been out for a month now, and they've not really done much to it.
Yeah.
Nvidia rolled out a patch yesterday for the crashing fix, which was the top post on Reddit. I saw this morning.
Nice.
I updated my drivers and have yet had a crash, so that's good. Because I was running those drivers and I was crashing like like once every 3 games, I'd say. So I had to roll back to a January patch, or a January driver, and that fixed it. So I've been playing on that. I fixed the G-Sync, which wasn't working in it. I fixed that last night, so I've got a smoother game now, which is good. Because it was just a bit janky before.
Yep.
So I sorted that part out. So
nice.
Yeah, it's getting better. But yeah, just quality of life stuff. I want to see changes in there. I want to see what my ping is. I want to see the reconnect feature. Things like that. Some quality of life stuff. Just
there has to be a fucking reconnect feature. It has to come now. Damn it.
Yeah, we were in a game yesterday. I think it was yesterday or the day before. I've got video of it. I think I've got video of it at least, which I can probably put up with this one where it was like me, Squirrel, and someone else. I can't remember if it was a random or if it was one of our guys, but it might have been I think it was Johnny Bravo.
Yeah.
And it was us versus another team, and JB or whoever was on our team disconnected, and the other team had high grounds. And we were basically at the base of this cliff, and we were fucked. Like, there was nothing we could do, and they screwed up so hard. They came down looking for us. I think Squirrel was playing as Bangalore and just threw his ult up there, and they just shit themselves and dropped down. And we just owned them.
Let's go.
We just smashed them. But yeah, I don't know. If there was a reconnect, JB could have, or whoever it was, could have jumped back in and then helped us out a bit. But otherwise, yeah, I don't know. There's some, I just feel like they need to start making some map tweaks, and like you said, change the loot table a little bit.
Yeah,
like sort it out. I don't know, and I hate bringing this up all the time. I don't know if you saw the stuff, the PUBG that's going on, because I saw a lot of my Twitter mentions. People talking about it. I went and took a look. They are on the test server. I don't know if they rolled this out or they leaked it or they rolled it out and then rolled it back, but they changed Erangel. The map, they put some extra buildings, and by extra I mean there's like 20-30% more buildings in Erangel.
Wow. And
people lost their shit because they're like, the problem with Erangel is not that there needs to be more buildings, it's that the loot table needs to be adjusted. Like, there needs to be more loot.
Right.
Do what you've done with Sanhok, or I haven't played the new map. It starts with a V, right? Vivendi? I can't remember what it's called. Valkyrie, something like that. And like, apparently, like, everybody's just like, they don't know what they're doing. I'm like, well, we've been saying this forever, but they put flare guns in the game, and people are not happy about that stuff. It's like just all these weird changes they're making. Like, they could easily just fix the loot table, I feel like.
Yeah.
And fix up things like, and that's one thing about Apex is I think they need to fix the loot table. And they're gonna do that, but they're talking about it. They're not doing it.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, we'll roll it out when we're ready.
Yeah.
It's like, no, just do it. And nobody's like, it's just gonna make for a better experience now. The other thing was the circle speeds need to change for the second. I think between the second and third circle is way too slow.
Yeah,
that needs to be sped up.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Yeah, we had a game the other day where it was a 10-minute game, and we were on the second circle, and it was fucking huge. There was two teams left.
Yeah.
Because I know our team rolled around and got, I think it was between 13 and 15 kills.
Yeah.
And we're in the second circle, and this thing is like 3 minutes counting down. They need to change it.
Yep.
That circle takes way too long.
I've always wondered if you could do like dynamic circles based on the amount of players left. I'd love to see that kind of shit.
Wasn't PUBG doing that with Sanhok?
Were they?
I feel like they were trying it at one stage. It was dynamic circles.
Yeah, I feel like
it was changing
I didn't
based
just
on how many people
fucking
left.
pick it up on the spot. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's correct. Yeah. Yeah, it makes sense to me, you know? Like, why not?
Yeah. The other thing is the third partying is such a big factor in that game. I don't know how you change it, how you deal with it. It just feels like there's no incentive to fight another team. And that was kind of the problem with Call of Duty, right? Is that you get into a fight and you wouldn't have any armor.
Yeah.
And you'd be like, well, I don't want to go into that fight with no armor, so I just won't fight anybody. But whereas in this game now, and I don't know if Call of Duty's having the same problem, but you basically wait for two teams to find each other.
Yeah.
And as soon as they start fighting, you go.
Yeah.
And you wait for them to finish, or you start picking players off. And I'd say 80%, 90% of the fights where we do that, we end up winning because the other team can't do anything.
Yeah.
And I don't know how you fix that. I don't know how you change that.
No, I don't.
But part of the problem could be that these circles are so big.
How would that be part of the problem?
Well, if you make the circles come in quicker,
yeah,
you're forcing the engagements more, I guess, and hopefully catching people out, as opposed to people just waiting around for something to happen. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Hopefully, you end up with more teams in the last circle than just the three. I just don't know what the solution to that is, because it ends up being either you're super aggressive and you try and find other people, in which case you got to hope the other team isn't near you watching, because if they are, you're pretty much fucked.
Yeah.
Because being down a player in that game is so huge, because you can be quite tanky in some certain circumstances.
Mm-hmm.
But if you've got two people shooting at you, you're pretty screwed.
Yeah.
Most of the time, if they can aim.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I don't know how you end up sorting that out at all.
Yeah.
We were in a fight last night where we ended up in engagement with another team, and with those three teams left, and as soon as we started fighting, eventually the third team came around after about 2 minutes into this fight,
right?
And they started shooting at us, and so we just backed off,
and
then let the other two teams fight each other, and then we looped all the way back around and then finished them all off.
Fucking hell, what were you potatoes doing spending 2 minutes in a fucking firefight? Jesus Christ.
We were on the other side of I wasn't shooting because I didn't have any guns, but someone on my team was shooting. Yeah, just stuff like that. I don't know how you can stop that from happening.
We had that game the other day when we didn't even realize there were only two teams left and we won it. Did you remember that one? That was a good one. We were, I think we were playing with Kleb, and we just sort of ripped our way through like a couple of teams on the way out of the bunker, headed up the hill there, got pushed and shoved them back out. And then, we're sort of watching every fucking direction. We hear a bit of a gunfight, like literally just ahead of us in the circle where we needed to go. And so we run in behind, snag a couple of kills, and then back the fuck off. And the team that was fighting, like, was in the fight, just fucking comes, like, swinging through the hole. Like, you know, their Pathfinder just fucking leaps through and starts, like, shooting. And we fucking tore them up, like ripped them up. And when we got the third kill, it was like, "You are the champion." And we're like, "What the fuck?" That was it.
Yeah,
that was pretty good. That was amusing. I thought that was.
We had one game where yesterday we were playing and Jai's internet was fucking up, and he dropped out like basically straight away.
Yeah.
And then I think we landed at an area where there was just people all over the place.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, oh, we'll just go aggro.
Oh, were you the jump master? I assume you were. If you
know.
landed in a place with shitloads of people and you got there late, you were probably.
I like aggroing. I don't like hiding in
That's what it is.
Small places.
It's not that you're terrible as a jump master or anything.
I'm the best. Sometimes I do that on purpose to hide, like, to drop people on cliffs or like hit them into trees.
Look, hitting people in trees and cliffs is magical. I don't think you're capable of it because you're terrible.
I can do it. Yeah, and in that game, I was like aggro around and we ended up coming second. I got 7 kills with like 1,300 damage. And while Jai's is sitting there waiting for us to finish.
Yeah, that does seem to happen. Oh yeah, okay. Well, oh, you're joining. Okay, well, we're just in a game. We'll just go super aggro. There was that one where we fucking landed. We hot dropped straight down, and literally nobody landed. It was in the blue circle, and it was like straight beneath the fucking thing, and nobody came with us. And we're like, the fuck is going on? Like, how the fuck does this work? Normally it's like fucking riddled with pricks, but no, not this time. Not this time we want a hot drop. No. Ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's good.
We had one last night as well where we dropped on the spaceship, the shuttle that flies around. I think that needs more loot. I think the loot on that thing is just garbage.
Yeah, it's
needs
not
some
worth,
crates or something on there.
Not worth the drop at all.
And then we sat on it and waited for it to actually land wherever it was landing, and we just sat on the zip lines waiting, and like some dude, you could hear him come up the zip line, and we just popped out and just lit him up. He was dead in about half a second. He was fucked. That stuff's funny, but
that is fun.
I'm digging it. I'm still liking it.
Oh yeah,
it's my like go-to game at the moment. I even play solos sometimes. I'll just jump in with a random team because the communication is so good.
Yeah,
generally, like, you have people in there that are talking as well.
Yeah.
Or yelling, depending on what Apex Legends wants to do with its VoIP system. Like, sometimes you just can't understand what people are saying because it's so jumbled.
Yeah.
But yeah, if the ping system works for most of the time anyway, so you can just jump in and have a, they're quick games, 10 to 15 minutes. 15 minutes is a long game. 13 minutes seems to be about the average.
Yeah.
I'm finding. 10-minute games are, if you want to steamroll, you can do that in 10 minutes. So it's fun. The unlock system, like the crates, I think we said this last week, needs to change. It should be 1 crate every level.
Oh yeah, 100%.
But yeah. All right, I think that's it.
That's it.
I'm sure we'll talk about it more over the next week.
Yep.
Or year, depending on what happens.
Cool.
I'll mention Call of Duty Black Ops, not on here. I jumped in yesterday to do some work in that, and yeah, man, they fucked that game up so hard. They've got DLC maps and content for it now, and so if you don't have that content, you are basically locked out of playlists.
Right.
I can't play Team Deathmatch anymore, by the looks of it, because that's using a playlist that's got the DLC maps. I think there are 3 modes in the core gameplay that I can play at the moment.
Wow.
And the one I ended up playing was hardcore. It was like hardcore demolish pit or something. It was called like that, which was a team deathmatch and a mix of something else, like kill confirmed and I think one other mode. But I couldn't find any games in like any of, like, there's like a feature set of playlists that they do on the front page, and you click on it, it's like, I think the one at the moment is Gun Game.
Right, yeah.
And I click on that, and I just wait. Nothing happens, and alright, cool. So it seems like everybody's moved over to that DLC at least. And
right.
You can't play the normal playlist, so that's
cool.
They need to change that. That's stupid.
That is dumb.
Just segregating their community.
Yep.
So yeah, I just wanted to mention that. It's dumb. It's something I didn't like about Battlefield, and they ended up changing it, which is good.
Yep.
And I think Call of Duty needs to do the same thing.
Cool.
Yep.
All right.
Siege.
Yeah. So probably kick off with last night I went to the Rainbow Six Siege launch party, Burn Horizon launch party. They held it at the Sydney Wildlife Zoo down in Darling Harbour. That place is fucking sick when there's no people around. That place is fucking awesome when it's empty. There's so many cool animals. You can fucking see them hanging out. Kangaroos come up and hop right up to you. Got to hold a snake. And koalas sleeping everywhere, and like spiders and butterflies and all that kind of shit. Like, just that place is awesome. Anyway, so first things first, that place is awesome. But then, yeah, basically it was an event, like a launch party that had 10 PCs set up to let people play. I did not get to play at all. I was working, so I didn't really have time. I was doing like interviews on camera and stuff, and I was technically hosting as well. So I did like a introduction to people, like here's what's happening. Super excited for Burnt Horizon, blah 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 blah, all that kind of stuff. But yeah,
how many times did you call the map Outbreak?
0.
Oh,
0. They did like they had a bunch of those boxes. You remember we got those siege boxes ages ago?
Yeah, the black ones, yeah.
Yeah, they had a bunch of those to give away, and they were doing trivia, and so they were asking these questions, and I'm standing there like not asking the trivia questions. Shane from Ubisoft was asking the questions, and Magnet from Fnatic was handing the prizes out.
Mm-hmm.
But they'd all come up and stand basically next to me. Whoever was standing next to me, so fucking fed. They were like, "Oh, what's the unofficial name of Outback?" And these three stood there like fucking stunned mullets, and I'm like, "Servo," and the guy's like, "Servo." Who are the two teams that beat that Fnatic beat at the Sixth Invitational? I'm like, Team Reciprocity and FaZe Clan. And the guy's like, FaZe Clan and starts with an R. Didn't get the prize. Nobody else got it. Like, I can't give it. Like, what am I supposed to do, man? I can't give it to you any harder than that. What else was there? There was an Australian one. Who was our first Prime Minister? Luke. Genuine question. Go.
I'm trying to think of that ad. Michael Barton's Hawkeye? Will Barton?
I think it is something like Barton. It is Edmund Barton, maybe?
Yeah, that could be it. I don't know.
I definitely didn't know, but it was one of the trivia questions. Nobody knew. Fucking nobody knew, except for...
It's like out of the rainbow.
Well, it's based in Australia, you see.
No.
GGG man, the fucking huge nerd.
Hmm.
It's like, oh, Edmund Barton. He gets a fucking prize.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Fucking, are you kidding? What a dork. Who the fuck knows that? It's actually un-Australian to know who the first Prime Minister is, I think. I think he's a spy. He's some sort of fucking spy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there was that. Yeah. I don't know. That was fun. What else was there? There was sausage sizzle. And you can get the onions on top if you wanted. Which is very Australian.
Kangaroo burgers?
No, they didn't.
I don't go to an event without kangaroo burgers.
Kanga bangers.
Yeah.
What else? Yeah, so the PCs, yeah, there was like a huge line to play the game. Good luck getting in to actually play it. And then I think Nate and G-Man and I think it was just them lining up. But yeah, they lined up, and just when they got to the front of the line, they did like a pro show match where they had a bunch of pro players playing, pro players and casters playing, and yeah, going in, doing their best. It's pretty entertaining, but it was sort of rammed. Everyone was cramming in to watch it. I believe Magnet's team won. But yeah, it was like still entertaining. They exclusively had Outback playing, and they exclusively, I thought they would be exclusively picking the new operators, but people weren't. There were a bunch of rounds where nobody picked the fucking new operators. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? What are you doing?
Yeah.
Jesus. What else? They had cosplayers. They had like a Legion cosplayer. even though they killed my boy Legion. They've killed him. He's dead now. He's pointless. Um, they had a Buck cosplayer, and when he walked past, I'm like, "Sick Frost!" And he'd already like lifted his hand because he saw the high five, and so he high fived me, calling Frost, and he was dirty about it. They had a really good Cav, and we did like a bit with her for the video, which hopefully is as entertaining as I hope. But it depends on which take they use, I guess.
Because you couldn't see her?
Yeah, basically, essentially. But yeah, she was like, I was supposed to like, oh, I can't find her for the interview. I guess I'll just leave, and then I was supposed to walk away. But she clearly organised to actually just come up and fucking stab me in the throat with her pretend knife. So she scared the fuck out of me. Like, I did not know she was going to do that. So she, like, suddenly there's a fucking hand on it and like a knife in my throat. And I'm like, yeah. So yeah, classic Jobo reaction. But yeah, it's good. Yeah, I didn't get to play at all, but it was a good night. Like, really good event. That is easily the best event venue I've ever been to. Like, that place was fucking awesome. It's such a good place to have a fucking event. Might not work for every game, but like, fucking hell, like, yeah, legit. You could like check out all the fucking animals without 4 billion cunts walking all over the top of you and getting a fucking pram jammed into your fucking ankles every 2 steps, which was cool. Yeah, that's about it. And the game. Now, we've played the game a bit. I was playing on the test servers already with 140 ping. Not ideal. Log in this morning. Apparently, I'm just on the Southeast Asia data server now. So it's all 140 pings for me from here on out, I guess.
Unless I'm playing with you.
Yeah, unless you're there to drag me back into the Australian servers. Like, I don't know how the fuck to get out of it. Because I did the thing that it said I had to do, but that didn't work, so I got no idea. But yeah, it's good fun, man. Like, it's a good map. It's a really good map. I was talking to Magnet and Dizzle from Fnatic, and they're like, we don't know about the competitive viability of it yet, but like, it's a really good map to like, from a spectator point of view, and like, it's fun.
It's one of those things where they need to play it as pros to sort of gauge whether or not it's any good, or is it literally just going to be people locking down a fucking hallway? Yeah. And like, just not be viable. And I think it's a possibility of that. Like, I don't know, because it is a smaller map. Yeah. But
there's they don't seem to be using like I said. I think the casual discovery playlist is only bomb. I've only played bomb mode on it so far. And they don't seem to be using that one room that I was saying last week was going to be a huge problem. The one room with 2 fucking doors, where if you killed the hard breacher, you were basically fucked. Yeah, they don't seem to be using that in the bomb as a bomb site, so that's good. But yeah, like I really like it. I love the garage as a entry point. There's a lot going on there. You've got like the high ground situation. You got windows on both sides. You can walk across that car, blow open the garage doors. Like, there's a lot of fucking options up there, which is cool. Yeah, I don't know.
I feel like the thing that it's missing is the roof. Like, I don't think there's any roof access, is there?
No, yeah, it'd really benefit from like just a couple of hatches. Yeah, 2 hatches, I reckon. Placed in the right places would really help. I don't know. I do wonder how much Fuse influences something like that, because I think that would make him unbelievably powerful.
Maybe, yeah.
Depending on where it was, like, yeah, it'd be really difficult to deal with a Fuse if you could fuse in from the fucking rooftop. But yeah, it sort of just means you have to, pick where the fuck you're going in from a little bit more. Yeah, I don't know. It's good.
Yeah,
Um,
I think it's. I put this on Twitter. I think it's the best season they've done so far.
yep.
Like, I think the map's amazing. I think the operators are very good. They're fun to play.
Yeah.
I like Gridlock. She's fucking awesome to play.
Yeah.
It was playing when we were playing before, man, and just like using her super shoddy and blowing up holes in the ground, like standing above the bomb site and then just throwing her gadgets like into the bomb site
That's awesome.
and being like, all right, now what? Like throwing them in between doorways and whatnot, and like
Yeah.
knowing that, all right, nobody's shooting this thing, so you know they're not in there, and just like setting up so you could drop into the hatch, and yeah, just like cool strats like that is interesting. I think she's going to change up. I still think she's going to be picked a lot. Like both of these guys, I think, will be picked a lot in pro scene.
Magnet reckons Gridlock won't be picked as much because there are so many powerful attackers.
Yeah.
But there are definitely situations where she'll be super useful. He reckons Mozzie's going to be auto.
Yeah, Mozzie's going to be... I said this when I first saw it, like, that's unless they reduce the amount of drones that he can steal.
Yeah.
Like, they even nerf him to shit, or I don't know what they do. Maybe he can only steal drones for a certain amount of time, but then that's weird.
That's pointless. Yeah, no.
I don't know. I think he's an auto pick all the time. He steals so much information.
Yeah.
He's like one of the highest tiered on there now, I feel like, apart from your breaches and whatnot. But yeah, she, I think, would be like second, third tier-ish, like somewhere down there, like middle area. But she's, yeah, definitely fun to play. Just throwing that stuff out there is really cool. Yeah, and I think the map's awesome. It just needs some pro players to go in and see what the deal is with it. I think it just might be a bit too small. That's my only thinking about it.
My biggest problem with it is that camera above the shark, man. I think it is too cunty a place to have a fixed camera position. If it was a Valve cam, cool, but like it is spectacularly difficult to find an angle that is safe to destroy that fucking camera from without getting fucking punted. I'd say like 3 of my deaths have come from trying to do something about that fucking camera. Yeah, it's a pain.
Yeah, and just that top railing, the trying to get through that area without being peeked from somebody.
Yeah,
because you've got so many angles. You've got like towards the left hand side. There's 2 doorways over there. You've got the little restaurant / takeaway counter where the bar is. They pick people over there. You've got above you the railing, the overpass, the side stairwell. There's another door on the bottom. It's like you can get fucked from so many angles in that part. Like, I don't know if it benefits from having it needs something in the middle of, I don't know. Maybe I need to play it more.
Yep. I agree.
But yeah, I think it's really good.
Yeah.
My article about the Apex Legends ping thing went on the front page of Reddit.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Over the week. It's like the top 10.
But it was a screenshot. It was a screenshot of your...
I know. Who does that? That's the filthiest.
Like, I linked it in our Discord, but there's an Onion article, and it is one of my favorites. And it is, we don't get it paid if you don't click the fucking link, which is unbelievably true. Yeah. So, yeah, a screenshot of an article is... Well, it's good for your ego, I suppose. But...
It wasn't even the article. It was just the headline.
Yeah. Yeah.
And people being like, what does that even mean?
Yeah.
Like,
well, I haven't played Apex. What does that even mean?
Yeah. Well, if the link was there, you could go read it, but...
Yep. Oh, well.
Yeah, it wasn't there.
Oh, well.
Anyway. Yeah. All right, should we do some news? Is that everything?
Do it. Yes.
Cool. Big news. Reggie Fils-Aime is retiring from Nintendo in April. The head of sales and marketing Nintendo America will be taking over, and his name is Doug Bowser.
Right? What the shit? What the fuck?
The best thing ever, possibly.
These guys, what are they doing?
Yeah.
Dude, name fucking Bowser. Do me a fucking favor. Yeah, it's pretty amusing. Uh, I don't. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have any special attachment to any big wigs at any of the major console companies. So I don't know. It seems to have an impact on the internet. People were like, "Oh, this is so huge," but
Yeah, like he's I think the one of those figureheads, right, where you see them a lot. He's
yeah,
got a lot of personality.
yeah,
He's always out there, which is good. My I've talked about this before. My Reggie story when we were at E3
mm,
one year. I think it was my second, maybe third year. I can't really remember. It was back when I was with Australian Gamer, and Jay and I were lining up for Titanfall for our appointment.
yeah,
It was the reveal of Titanfall, and we were in the VIP slash media line, and so they fed us into the theater,
mm,
which the theater is I don't know, 15 people maybe max that they're
yeah,
letting in. Yeah, and then so we sit down, and then Reggie sits like right next to us, and he starts talking to us, asking us like how our E3's going and whatnot, and we're talking, asking him similar things like how's yours going, you see anything good type stuff, and then Jay pulls out his I think it was his 3DS.
3DS, yeah.
Yeah. And then Reggie pulls his out of his pocket, and then these two are sitting on their 3DSs street passing to each other. Because, like, remember Street Pass, Job?
I do. Yeah.
It was like pretty
It's
big.
everything. It's everything.
But that was the first year I feel like they did it at E3, and so everybody had their
Yeah,
yeah. And so Jay had to bring out his thing, and
of course.
immediately he had his on hand in his pocket, and so these two guys are sitting during this, not during the actual presentation, but like while they're getting ready, like on
Yeah.
their fucking 3DSs, talking about street passes. Yeah, so that's my Reggie story from E3. Otherwise, like I've seen him around. He's done presentations and whatnot at E3. And some media stuff, but yeah, no,
Yep.
he seems like good fun. We'll see what this Doug Bowser guy's like. I don't know, man. That name's a bit.
Seems like it's gonna be rough for old Mario. That's
Yeah.
all I'm saying. Gold.
Yeah.
All right, good one. Next.
All right. A discless Xbox One rumor for next week.
Cool.
That's all we can go off, I guess.
I can't remember the last time I got a fucking put a disc into my fucking Xbox One. So as long as it's got a decent hard drive, I'm down with it. To be honest, actually, I lie. I use it as a Blu-ray player.
Right.
That is the purpose of the disc in the Xbox One for me. So yeah, I guess I could get a Blu-ray player, like a HD Blu-ray player, but yeah, meh. I don't know. What do you reckon? Would you get one if you didn't already have an Xbox?
No.
No? No?
I don't know, man. My Xbox doesn't get used that much.
Right.
And this is another thing I guess we can talk about. Like the I guess we'll wrap up on this part, but the discless rumor has been rumored for a little while.
Yeah.
They started to spike up again within the last month.
Yep.
And then it's sort of resurfaced today because Microsoft's now announced they're doing an event next week, I believe.
Right.
And they're announcing something there. And so that's where all this. All right, they're announcing a new SKU, a new Xbox One SKU at this event, on top of a few other things. And I believe they're going to be talking about Game Pass coming to PC. Seems to be another big one.
Right. Okay. That's cool.
And I saw some Halo news as well. But yeah. Anyway.
Cool.
That's aside from the fact, like, this seems to be what people are pointing to is, like, they're trying to get rid of some news now so that when it comes to E3, they can talk about their new
Xbox 2.
next-gen console, whatever it is. So get all this sort of stuff out of the way and then focus purely on get an Xbox One, 2, or whatever you want to call it, Xbox 2.
It can't be the Xbox 2, right? Because then I can't call it the X-Bone anymore. And I know they hate it when you call it the X-Bone. But I don't know. I just like saying X-Bone.
Do you think they'll just go to Xbox?
Maybe. Maybe they will.
Or Xbox 5 with a V?
That's our only hope. Would it be the Xbox 5? Xbox 360, Xbox One, Xbox 4 with 4 I's instead of IV?
No, just skip the 4, go to V.
Oh, straight to V. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm about it.
Because they want to compete with Sony, right? So.
Of course. That's the only way to catch up.
Yep.
All right.
Or we go 6. Just go straight to 6.
Straight to 6.
Yeah.
That's all. All right. What else have we got? What's next?
Gearbox announcement at PAX East. They're doing a theatre presentation for something. I guess the rumors are pointing towards... Well, that was the rumors, but it sounds like Randy's come out and maybe squashed that a little bit today.
Right. Okay.
It doesn't sound like it's Brother in Arms either. They said they're working on something Brothers in Arms, but they're not ready to announce that. They could be lying, and it is Borderlands. The Colonial Marines 2, that's what they're doing.
That's what the world wants to see. Imagine the reaction. Oh my lord. I want to see it now because I want to see the reaction.
I guarantee you Seikiro has not given them Colonial Marines 2.
Duke Nukem Forever 2.
Don't know.
Maybe. No, it's probably Borderlands 3.
Yeah, I think it could be a Borderlands game, or it could be some side project thing. Gearbox has a history of announcing stuff at PAX.
Right.
It obviously gets out of the way at E3 as well. They get their own spotlight. I think it's a good time to announce something. Whether or not it's Borderlands related, I guess we'll wait and see.
Yeah.
And then lastly, we already talked about this.
We already talked about it. Never mind.
Don't worry about it.
It's rainbow time.
That's it.
That is it.
All right, we can... got any questions?
No.
Oh, easy. That's good. We can just wrap up then. If you'd like to subscribe to us, you can find us on iTunes, Android, Windows Store, Spotify, all those wonderful places. If you help rate and review the show, helps other people find it. If you search for The Gap or the GA Podcast, that's how you can figure that one out. It's quite easy to find.
Yes.
If you'd like to send us an email, you can do that through thegapodcast@gmail.com. You can find us on social media, facebook.com/GAPodcast, twitter.com/GAPodcast, or you can go to thegapodcast.com/Discord if you want to check out our Discord page. Got a bunch of channels in there where we're playing games. What's coming out next week? Is next week The Division?
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Maybe.
I think
Division next week. Anyway, we're playing Apex. Apex is a game at the moment. Sometimes we've got a stupid amount of people in there, and it's hectic.
We've been queuing into the same server. As always, never teaming. But, yeah.
We move people to different channels.
Yep.
We had a fabulous fight the other day where we did actually run into each other.
Yep. Oh, man. You got executed, which is the greatest. The greatest.
Yeah, but this is after I killed you, so that's fine.
Doesn't count. Doesn't matter. Nobody cares.
Nobody
cares about that fight. Nobody cares. You got executed. And that's all that matters. That's all that anyone cares about. Yeah.
All right. So yeah, go to that. It's good fun. You can also find us on YouTube, thegapodcast.com/YouTube or thegapodcast.com/Spotify. Our YouTube page has a bunch of video content, including this podcast. You can watch us playing some games. I'll put some Apex Legends footage up this week, as well as Ape Out. And I'll try and chuck some Future 88 up there as well. Black Future 88.
Yep, nice.
Yeah. And that's all thanks to our website, thegapodcast.com. You can find all the things, links we just talked about. And that's run by our Patreon members. Patreon.com/GAPodcast if you want to help support the site. Thank you to everyone that does that every month.
Thank you. You are the best.
Yes. And I think that is about it. Anything you want to pimp out this week?
Head to Red Bull and check out our big preview of Year 4 of Rainbow Six Siege. It's pretty big, pretty good. It's good, like top-notch content. So it's a good read. It's by Nathan. Yeah, that's about it. I think. Check me out on Twitter at Joey Jojo, and as soon as my video is up on IGN, I will be sure to imp it. But it should be entertaining. I think I asked some good questions. Did some stupid shit. So yeah, should be good.
Right. Yep. For me, you can go to survivor.com and check out my Rainbow Six Siege Horizon content.
Nice.
Which has pretty much been exclusively what I've worked on for the last 2 weeks. Interviews, all my interviews done, all the previews done. Yeah, that's it. I did the Apex Legends ping system stuff for Rainbow.
Yep.
Cross-platform play, PlayStation and Xbox. And yeah, I talked about. I talked to the designers about the sort of concept behind Mozzie and Gridlock and where their the ideas about those characters came from, and then also the map and whatnot. So you can go check that out. I think I mentioned this last week. But they talk about how, like, basically Gridlock broke the game, and how her design was based off of StarCraft, and Mozzie came from like a group of different operators that
they're all going to be the one.
Yeah, the one. Which is funny because Mozzie is so powerful anyway, and imagine how much more he would have been with these other like abilities. So yeah. Anyway, I thought that was pretty entertaining, and that's it. It's Survivor.com. Go check it out. Otherwise, I don't have anything else.
Nope.
That's us.
That's it.
We're done. 2 hours on the dot.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Next week we've got some preview content going up. Maybe Sekiro.
Ooh.
I think we're trying to get into that, aren't we?
We are, yes.
Yeah, some Sekiro stuff went up today, and we'll try and check that out next week. Maybe some Division, depending on when that comes through, or if it's coming through yet. I don't know the date, but yeah, I'm sure we'll have some cool stuff coming up.
Yep.
Plenty of things to talk about, so we'll catch you all next week.